When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I think I did an episode like this not too long ago, talking on people defending broken video games. And that's the stuff that trips me out, is that it's one thing when people defend a game and it's like Arc Raiders, for an example. That game wasn't broken. You know, it's just a broken community. It's a community where if you say something negative about the game, they feel like they need to attack you in some sort of way. And I'm like, fam, I'm not, I guess, going to have the same experience as you did. And like, everybody's going to have a different experience, when playing a video game. And I wish people would understand that. But it just seems like that nowadays, it's like if whoever this individual is that's defending the video game, if they had a good experience, you're supposed to have a good experience. And that's what trips me out. It's like, fam, okay, cool. You're enjoying the game. I'm happy for you. I'm not. And then it's funny because it's like they try to, I guess, like some people would just be like, nah, then just don't play it and stuff. But and it's like a way of how people say it. It's like they get upset like when you talk about their game. Me, on the other hand, it's like if somebody says something bad about a game that I like, I let them feel that way. I'm like, you're having a different experience than I am. I guess if they approach me and they're asking me, hey, can you help me out? I would do the best of my ability to help that individual out. But I'm not going to attack them. I'm not going to get upset because they're talking about my all-time favorite video game. Because I'm trying to think. So I had to say the one time where I did kind of get into it. But I'm like, fam, it's a fact. Like, the thing is this. The controversy surrounding Destiny 2, that controversy wasn't there when Destiny 1 was a thing. When that game was coming out, they already had their plan and layout of what they wanted the main game to be. Then they came out with DLCs, and then they came out with like their final few DLCs, and then after that, they moved on to the next game. In my opinion, Destiny 1 is the better game. That's my opinion. If you have a certain feeling about that, fam, that's on you. But my thing is this. What video game do you know where they come out with content, have you pay $60 for this content, and then they take the content away because they want to change the game into something else? I ain't never heard of that before throughout my 29 years of living. Before Destiny and after Destiny, I have never heard of a video game doing that. Like, my thing is this, right? So I guess to put this in perspective, imagine you buy Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You get you pretty much play and beat the whole game, right? But it's one of those games that you like to replay because it's that fun. All of a sudden, one day you wake up and Rockstar is like, we're going to take away the main part of the game, add in all these different, DLCs that's like 40 to like, yeah, probably like, depending on what edition that you get, it's like $40 to $60. You have to keep buying these DLCs, I guess, up until that DLC, runs out of content. Or, yeah, you did everything that you possibly could. But then the crazy thing about it is that the DLCs, for what they're asking, it's not how it was when you very first would get the game and stuff. Hold on for a second. I'm trying to turn down this settings on my fan. I think that just... Okay, maybe that might turn it down. But anyways... But yeah, you go out and you buy this game and then they just take away the content out of nowhere. And they're all like, oh, we're going to make it free, but the DLCs you have to pay for. I get maybe if it was like if we were paying for cosmetic stuff and then the missions and all that stuff was like, that was free after an update. But if you have it where I got to pay for missions that I didn't even want to play in the first place. And the crazy thing is that the original story, I guess for somebody that's never played the original story to Destiny 2, it was good. The thing is this, they were at least on track of what Destiny started out to be, but now it just seems like that they're kind of going all over the place and they're trying to backpedal and try to make the game good again. And I'm like, fam, if you want this game to be good again, add the original content, and if you guys want to leave the DLC content and all that stuff, okay, cool. But if it comes down to like cosmetics, like armor, weapons, and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, when I play a game just to enjoy the story. Now, if there's a weapon worth buying and getting, and then that's, I got to get it through the DLC, knock off probably about 80 to 90% of the total price price it would cost to get those DLCs, and then that's how you guys make that game good again. Add the original content, tone down the prices on the DLCs. That's how Destiny 2 can be in good graces. But until then, Destiny 1 is going to be a good game. It's going to be a better game than Destiny 2. But that's the thing, though, that trips me out is that these games be broken. These games be all messed up, or it's just, if it ain't stuff like that, then yeah, it's like glitches and bugs and problems with the game to prevent me from continuing further with the game. And I don't know how many times I ain't played games where they've been bugged out, glitchy throughout I had to say, because I have gotten more into gaming since I started streaming, because I have a gaming PC. Before I was like, okay, whatever game, because I would just focus on one game, but now it's like, with streaming and then content creating, and I'm trying to get clips and make sure that it's like, it's like the content is always different. Yeah, it's, I done got into a lot of different video games, and that's the thing where I feel like that I done ask for a refund more than me sitting down and actually enjoying a game. Like, if I can count up all the times I had to ask Steam, Xbox, what else? Epic Games. I'm trying to think of some other, mainly those three. The amount of times throughout the years I had to ask for my money back because some developer thinks it's a good idea to put out a broken game. And the latest game, to use as an example, this game called Space Engineers 2. So I play that game. Very first time playing it, visuals and graphics, it was buggy. Like, you could tell that the frame rate was extremely low. And then there was like this like weird pixelating thing that kept happening. And I'm like, okay, try lowering the resolution, try lowering the graphics. I try everything possible, right? And what trips me out is that you'll do these things and you think that, okay, it should fix the game. It should, no. If it's not one problem, then it's another problem. So eventually I was like, you know what? Forget it. I ain't even gonna fool with the game no more. But somebody had commented on, because I had made a community post on Steam, and somebody commented and they said this is what they do. So I tried it and it worked. And I'm like, okay, cool. Visuals ain't crazy. Frame rate is decent and all that stuff. I could play this game. So I'm playing it. They have it where I'm flying this spaceship. I think I was heading to a mountain or something like that. Game out of nowhere, it started doing this like weird, like choppy thing where it like you'll be flying and then it just seems like it kind of like lags a little bit. Mind you, I wasn't playing online or anything. So, but it's doing this like weird choppy thing, right? So I'm like, all right, you know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna let it ruin my experience with this game. Out of nowhere, game freezes. So you can hear the spaceship flying, you can see the clouds moving, but the spaceship was not moving. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, I don't understand how Steam allows this. I don't understand how companies allow these video games to come out. They're buggy and they're glitchy. Half of the time they don't work. If they're not the bugs and glitches that you're dealing with the game, then it's the crashes that you're dealing with. Because another game, for an example, and I did actually just talk on that game. I did a whole episode talking on that game, was Project Motor Racing. Having it where I get all the way to the last lap of the race. And it ain't like it's like these small races and things. There's some like decent sized races. But having it where I get all the way to the last lap of the race and then that's when the game decides to crash, that's not cool, bruh. Even Activision, I remember when it was not the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but the new Call of Duty, the newer version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, having it where that game wasn't even starting up at one point in time. And what trips me out is that people will have this issue on Xbox. People have, because I ain't had games crash on me on Xbox. I ain't had games, Project Motor Racing, that game crashed on me on the PlayStation. I ain't had games crash on me on Steam. I'm trying to think of some other, like mainly Steam. I mainly play most of my games off of Steam because I was trying to think on the Xbox app and Epic Games. I can't think of no times where I played games on there and they crashed on me. So maybe it's Steam. I don't know. But overall, at the end of the day, I'm like, my thing is this. When I'm playing the game, I'm not trying to have issues. Because I came from a day and age where when you put out a game, the game was fully functional. It worked. If there was any bugs or glitches in the game, it was stuff that you can laugh about. But it wasn't, do you think, let's say if this would have been in the time frame of the PlayStation 2 era, how do you think that would have turned out if, let's say, Rockstar Games puts out Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but every time when you get ready to do every mission in the game crashes and it just turns off your PlayStation or sends you to the menu. It's been years since I played on the PlayStation 2, so I don't think they had like no menu thing. You just put the game in and then start playing and stuff. But anyways, even that, it's like seeing how like gaming, it's like you can't even put a game in a console and start playing it. Like, no, you gotta download it, download this, update down it. And what's so crazy is that, so they'll put out these like patch updates, right? I guess like for somebody that doesn't really know too much about gaming, and you're all like, what, do they update it and fix it and all that other stuff? So no, this is what they'll do with patch updates, right? So let's say there's a video game that comes out and it has all these, like, you know, the game will crash on you. There's glitches in the missions where characters, they just do some wild and outlandish stuff. The AI's in there. It's like, and that's another thing too, where sometimes they'll have it where AIs, they can like pinpoint you miles away from wherever you're at, like depending on if it's a shooting game and stuff, but they'll pinpoint you miles away from wherever you're at. You don't even know where this person is at, but they somehow, some way see you through walls, trees, and everything else, manage to shoot and kill you one shot, and it'll take you like 100 different shots, like pretty much a whole clip or a whole magazine to take them out. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, when have you guys ever, I mean, yeah, maybe if somebody like they got some spidey sensors or something like that in a war zone or in the military, then I'm like, okay, that's that person. But when I'm playing a video game, not trying to experience stuff like that. You know, I'm either trying to have an experience where I'm the one that's dominating the game, or overall, like, yeah, if it's a PvP game, then I'm like, okay, cool. But if it's a PvE game where it's like, okay, what does the NPC gain from winning or extracting whatever the game is and stuff? They don't gain absolutely nothing. The game that I'm talking about is this game called Gray Zone Warfare, this like extraction shooter game. I did kind of mention it a little bit because I was like, that's an extraction shooter that has both a PvPvE mode and a PvE mode. But yeah, they have it where the NPCs in there, for some reason, they just dominate the game. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what does the NPCs gain from dominating the game? Like, that's another thing where it's like, they'll up the difficulty to where it's like, you can't even take out, because that was my issue with the Arc Raiders. I'm using all my ammo to take out this enemy, and I'm like, what do they overall gain from winning the game? That's what I would like to know. The thing is this, people, and it's funny how like people, they'll like, you know, if they're trying to defend their game, that's the one thing that they like to say. It's you have a skill issue. It's a shooting game. I've been playing shooting games for, I don't know, like for years. I'm trying to think. Some of the first few shooting games I played, I believe, was on the Nintendo 64. I can't remember the name of the games, but I've been playing shooting games since then. I was born in 96. So you guys do the math. It's like, yeah, I've been playing shooting games well over 20 years. I have never had an issue. If the game was fully developed and it worked well and there wasn't no issues and no problems, I never had an issue with a shooting game. When I play a Call of Duty campaign, when I play a Battlefield campaign, I'm trying to think of somebody, and I'm talking like on the old Call of Duties and Battlefields and stuff, but I'm trying to think, Destiny, what are some other games? Like a bunch of different games from a bunch of different eras. I never had no issues with them. So all of a sudden this new game comes out and I all of a sudden have a skill issue. That's why I'm like, when they say things like that, I'm like, yeah, you guys, you either are not really paying attention, or maybe you might have the skill issue and it's trying like some self-projection type stuff. But it's like you had a few good games, so all of a sudden you think you're a master of whatever game it is that I'm talking about. Or it's like you can't think of nothing creative to say, so it's like, oh, I'm just gonna copy and paste from this, trolling people on the internet book and just say the same thing that so many other different people have said. And I'm like, where's the skill issue? Like, that's the thing where it's like, because I look at it like this, right? If you're a doctor and a person walks in and they're like, hey, I have a headache, and then they're all like, oh, it sounds like that your brains have been blown out. And I'm like, how did you come up with that? Oh, because every other doctor done said it. And so it's like, but my thing is this though, you ain't did no diagnosis, you ain't trying to figure out like where the issue is starting at, you ain't trying to like none of that. You just rushing straight to like whatever conclusion you done built up in your head. And it's like, fam, the thing is this, when a person has been playing a video game genre for years, they're not going to have no skill issue. It wasn't like I just started playing video games yesterday. I've been playing video games like 20, well, definitely well over 20 years. I'm 29 years old. I think I started playing video games when I had to have been like maybe 2 or 3 years old. I just remember I was like, yeah, holding a Nintendo 64 controller and then playing 007, Mario 64, Mario Kart. I'm trying to think. There are so many different Nintendo 64 games, PlayStation 1, 2, 3. Yeah, pretty much all the PlayStation consoles, all the Xbox consoles. Well, not all the, like, because I know there was, like, some of the, like, that PlayStation, Vista or, Vita or something like that. I did not, play that and things, but, yeah, I pretty much played on 90% of the consoles that then came out throughout the past, 20 plus years. Never had an issue with it. So when they tell me, oh, it's a skill issue, I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, think of something creative to say. Think of something different to say. But if you just gonna say the same thing that so many other different people said, I'm like, fam, I'm just gonna look at it, probably end up deleting the comment, because I'm like, yeah, there ain't no sense of direction in your brain. So it's like you don't know what you're talking about. It's one of those things. It's people that just probably started playing video games like 4 or 5 years ago, and they trying to tell me that they have a skill issue. And I'm like, fam, I guarantee and I promise you, the people that are saying that, I've been playing video games longer than you've been alive. I don't need nobody telling me that I have a skill issue. The only skill issue that I'm seeing is that there's a developer where they waited until there was a time and place where they can do the bare minimum with developing a video game, and then they put this game out for whatever price that they want to put it out for, whether it's the price of a new game or whether they want to go half the price where it's like $39.99 or something. But overall, that's where the skill issue is at, not with the player, especially when the player's been playing video games for like 20-something. I wonder how long was the development for Arc Raiders and let's just see Arc Raiders. Hold on for a second. How long did it take to develop Arc Raiders? The development journey for Arc Raiders. They don't say. Oh. Well, I think they said the company was founded that developed Arc Raiders was founded in 2018. Do they say they have? Because I'm trying to think. I wonder if they got like a production thing on Wikipedia. Development developed. The game was officially announced. So wait a minute. The game was officially announced at the 2020 as a free-to-play cooperative third-person shooter. Revealed in 2023 that the genre of the game had been changed to a PV. So it's like the game. So what's funny is because they were saying that too with Arc Raiders. Was that the game was like, it was originally supposed to be something else, but then they changed it to a PvPvE extraction mode, and it makes you wonder, it's like, what would it have been like, even if it is on some stuff where it's like, okay, let's just add this, but then let's add an extraction. That's the thing, like, there's the developers out there where they're like, we're not creative to come up, we're gonna make this promise, but we ain't gonna be creative enough to come up with an idea of what we want for this game. We're just gonna say, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do with it, but we don't know how to do it. I say that because there's the one racing game, Assetto Corsa Evo, where people have tried to defend that game, and I'm like, fam, there ain't no defense for that. When they made all these earlier that year when that game came out, they made all these promises that they were gonna add a free roaming mode, they were gonna add these tracks and cars and do all these other different things with the game. They just recently came out with some update where all they just did was add a track and I think a few cars and changed up the menu a little bit. And I was gonna say that earlier with the, where developers, for some reason, they'll do these updates with the game that nobody asked for. And what's funny is that they'll do a video or a community post on Steam or something, or a tweet, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we fixed the trees in the game. Instead of the trees having 20,000 leaves, they now have 30,000 leaves. Oh, the tires, instead of them just being black tires, they have like a shade of gray to them and stuff, so the tires look a little bit more realistic. Oh, and the windshield wipers move 1 mile per hour faster. And it's things like that where I'm like, okay, well, what about the updates and stuff that you promised earlier this year with the game? And they're all like, oh, we're working on it. By the time that all that content done came out, there's been like 15 to 20 other video games that came out. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm probably going to, especially if them games are good too, I'm probably going to play Assetto Corsa Evo for like 5-10 minutes, but I'm going to go right back to the games that have been occupying my time. And that's another thing that trips me out, is that when there's those one video games that come out and they're good, but nobody knows about them, nobody is talking about them, they don't get the publicity that they should get, and those be the video games where it's like, you can tell that them developers, they old-fashioned developers, where they're like, hey, back in the day, games came out and they were fully developed, not no, oh, you get 20% of a game one day, 20% of a game multiple days later, and then you get the other 20, and then it's like, and it just keeps going on and on and on until like 4 or 5 years down the road. That's when you finally decide when you guys want to fully release the game. And they're all like, oh, we're putting in early access because there's games that have been in early access for years, and it's funny how I'm like, I was getting ready to talk on it, but and I have the early access page open. But yeah, there's games, I wonder, they don't have like a thing where they showcase like how long, or like the oldest games in early access. I wish they did, but the first game that pops up is this zombie game called Project Zomboid, and that game was released back in 2013. And then there's this other game, Songs of Six. I think that's supposed to be 6. I ain't never heard of that game, but it's been in development for 5 years. And then there's the one, I'm like, that game's been in development probably longer than any game. It ain't on Steam, but Star Citizen. That's a video game where I'm like, fam, that game should have came out probably 10 years ago. Because I think the game's been in development for like 14, probably almost 15 years. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, a video game shouldn't be in early access for that long. It's one of those things, you know, you guys sit down and think about it. It's like, I think that game had came out. When did Star Citizen come out? Hold on. When did Star Citizen come? December 23rd, 2017. I feel like I heard something where there's like the game. Wait a minute. The game in 2013 released parts of the game. So yeah, the game had came out in 2013. And so yeah, the game is 12 years old. So yeah, so I was some years off and things. Then I guess it had like an early access release in 2017, but the game's been in early access. So the game's it's aiming for a release in 2027. It shouldn't have taken 10 years for that game to come out and 10 years for it to be in early access. But there's a lot of different video games where they do that, and then when they do get up out of early access, it's like, okay, now what? Like, what am I supposed to do with whatever this game is supposed to be right now? And so, yeah, you got where there are some developers that just don't know what they're doing. They're the ones with the skill issues, and I think whoever these developers are, they're probably the ones that came up with that because they don't want to, I guess, face no responsibility for the games that they put out. It's like, oh, we just want to do the bare minimum, but we want to make the full maximum. And yeah, it's stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, good luck with your guys' game, but I guarantee and I promise you, we're going to look up one day. And that's the thing. I cannot wait for the day when there's just a little bit more laws and rules with gaming, because man, there's people out there that just take advantage of gaming. You know, there is this one video game where it ended up shutting down, and I can't remember, it's like Thunder, it was like something, it was like this like top down like military type game, right? So anyways, game comes out, people are buying it, and the developers, it was like, okay, when are you guys gonna update this game and add more content or do more to the game and stuff, right? So I remember I played a little bit of it. It was like after some time of the game coming out, but I played a little bit of it, right? I played this game, and that game, it was definitely one of those games where I'm like, you guys gonna have to do some updates to it. I might have that video up when I played that game. I just can't think of the name of it and stuff, but it was like something Thunder. But anyways, I wonder if I can go to my gaming channel and see. But anyways, the developers hadn't done nothing to the game, so they pretty much just abandoned the game, disappeared out of nowhere. You see this thing from them where they said that no, that's not Thunder. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, there was like Thunder Tier 1. I think that was the name of the game. But anyways, yeah, the developers, they pretty much abandoned the game. Decided that they didn't want to do nothing else to it. Oh, did they make that game free? Oh wow, they actually had made that game free. I didn't know that. That's one of those things. I'm like, yeah, you guys had. So I wonder what's the it still gets bad ratings and stuff, but anyways, but no, overall though, it was the game, they pretty much abandoned it, disappeared, wasn't doing nothing with the game. All of a sudden I look up and I see this thing saying, and I had bought the game some time ago, I look up and see there's this thing where they're all like, oh, if you want to get your money back, you're entitled to get your money back, even though it's been beyond 2 hours, and it was definitely beyond 2 weeks. I feel like if that was a thing, like, and that's something I just think that needs to be added to like Steam and Xbox and PlayStation, that if you guys have not gotten your game together within a certain amount of time, and that's something where I'm like, okay, you need to project when this game is going to be finished. So if you guys say, hey, we're releasing the game right now, but it should be finished in 2026, and then like, oh, so let's say it's like, oh, we just need to add like a few more patch updates and bugs and stuff like that. And then the game's going to be released on, let's say, January 5th of next year, 2026. So yeah, let's say you released it in September 5th of this year. So anyways, if the game hasn't been finished, if it hasn't been fixed, if the bugs and all these other different problems are still there, and the content that you guys promised that was supposed to be there on January 5th of 2026 isn't there, everybody can get their money back. And I feel like that if they had some stuff like that written down with developing a video game, you definitely would see where a lot of developers, they either wouldn't be getting into video game or they would be getting their act together. But it's like, to me, it really trips me out where it's like developers, they just take advantage of people, wanting to pretty much get a good game, and then it's like they buy it and the game it's not good, and there's all these different problems and issues with it. So I think that's definitely something I'm gonna push for, make a bunch of different videos on it, whether it's Steam, TikTok, or not Steam, but TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Probably do some Twitch streams and stuff where I'm talking on that. But yeah, it needs to happen. There needs to be more rules and laws when it comes to video game development, because you got way too many developers out there where they just want to take advantage of people. My thing is this: if what I'm saying is wrong, right, then prove me wrong. If you're a video game developer and you got a game, come out with updates frequent every single day until that game is fully patched, updated, everything is added into the game, and it ain't it's gonna take us a while. Because my thing is this: I've seen way too many developers say that, and they're like, it's gonna take us a while, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and then it's like, yeah, the game, then when it finally does come out, it'd be like 10 years down the road where I'm like, you guys all of a sudden now want to release this game and do stuff with it. Yeah, no, I'm focused on something else, so. But anyways, if not that, then put the game out for free. Do like how these people did this Thunder Tier 1. Yeah, put the game out for free. If you I guess are more into video game development than just trying to find an easy way of making money and stuff. So. But anyways, with that being said, because yeah, it's easy to go sit down, watch videos of how to develop this, because I'm pretty sure there are so many different tutorials. So all they just do is like, okay, well, I have the time to do this, I have the time to do that, I'm gonna put out this game, do the bare minimum to it, and then those games get overshadowed by developers that actually want to do something good with the game. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.